ora, Gemini. This is your reading for the new moon in Leo, which is happening literally now. Well, in the next day or so. So, it's all a continuum. So thanks for watching, joining me. It's wonderful. And I do appreciate comments, likes, subscribes. It really helps me. And I do fully appreciate that from you. So thanks for tuning in. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And let's see what's on the storyline. It's looking rather nice. It's looking like at some point here that we have had a realization, Gemini, that the world is our oyster. So if you haven't tuned in before, we do go through and clarify. So we've got a few other decks here. So we come out with you, and I think the last reading at the full moon, it was a similar thing. Queen of Swords. The big queen, who can see pretty clearly. It's quite precise. You might actually even be feeling like you're surprising yourself in terms of a level of objectivity, a level of quite clear and clean sight, not only within yourself, but when you are looking out there and engaging with others. With that, we are infused with a gift. This is for us to give form to. If you certainly in the creative fields, this Ace of Wands is all about that. Is all about a fertilization, of ideas, the ability to take this energy and put it into some form in your world. It's wonderful. I think there's a common thread for a lot of us, all of us, that can sometimes, as the term would be, pip you at the post, which is like just when you're about to send things out there, the self-saboteur comes into it, and it's like, bugger off, self-saboteur. This is where we see, in whatever way that works for you in your life, but this is where we see the 8, another card of the mind here, about self-limitation, pretty much in a nutshell here for you, Gemini. We all have that. We all have self-limitation. We do overcome fear and various other things like shame and humiliation, and we overcome that, from the past I'm speaking of. We overcome. We do. And we can rise to that challenge, certainly with this beautiful ace that's here as a gift to us, and the clear sight of this queen. We overcome these things many times in our lives, and in the process of doing so, I'm talking about self-limitation, self-sabotorial behavior here. In the process, we heal and we move on from that point in a different way, in a clearer way. We've got the star here, this beautiful Aquarian card. We are a conduit, in some ways a sort of channel, from the wider cosmos to this earth itself. There's the pouring of the waters, ethers. It's a beautiful healing card. People speak of the star as dreams and wishes coming true, but I do think it's intrinsically a card of healing. There are many aspects to that card. So let's look at this Queen of Swords. In fact, as ourselves, as our great ally at this time, So we're looking at hard work. I did get that feeling that for some of you it is about work. It's about what you create or produce, in whatever way that is. So we're looking here at the 8, another 8 of discs, perfecting something, really, really wanting it to be presented at a point where it's at its peak. We've perfected something to our own satisfaction, not to anyone else's, to our own satisfaction. With that, we have a very expansive emotional high, this 10 of Cups. And it is an emotional high, isn't it? That expansive level of joy and happiness is really what we seek, isn't it? I think it's what we all seek as humans. It comes and it goes. Okay, Gemini, let's look at the Ace of Wands. We have flying out, Ace of Wands, fire, will. We've got the power. We've got the power, to take that on if we choose to. Flying out, we have the Ace of Cups, this emotional gift as well. We combine the depth, the maturity of our emotional selves with the powerful nature of the will, of creativity, of passion. We combine those things. It's a powerful combination. It's a really powerful combination. And that in itself may be the key to facing any challenges to do with, dampening our light, really. Limiting ourselves. In that, we have the 5 of Cups. Yes, we've all experienced disappointment and melancholy, and we understand after a while, I'm talking about emotional maturity here, that because these are cups, that we can choose to use our mind to shift our perspective here. And we see that there are 2 cups. We see that light can be shared in a reciprocal manner, that work that we're putting out there can be received in an incredibly positive way. So we can't marginalise ourselves, Gemini. Okay, we're looking at the 8, another 8, self-limitation. There's a lot of stuff from the past, but ultimately there's a lot of stuff from the past. I don't know where that comes from, but there always is, isn't there? Just have one more card, please. We overcome any limitations here. It's because it is all about fear and the fear of whatever, humiliation, the fear of success. I mean, it's nuts, isn't it? But this is what being human's about, isn't it? So we get this sort of maybe from the past, cruising through with an idea, with a direction as to how to just work with this step by step. Because there is this challenge here, and it's interference, and it could be coming from other people as much as it comes from yourself, Gemini. So let's see, to clarify that, we have the 3 of Swords, which I see as a piece of the past, and it's part of this 5 of Cups as well. Though we understand that we can shift our perspective in the 3, in that 5. In the 3, we understand pain, sorrow. We've all experienced that in our lives thus far. These are the things that have humiliated us in the past. These are the things that have brought shame. These are the things that we fear, that emotional pain. But we have this ability in the Empress to embody this Empress for ourselves. This is nurture, it's mothering, it's creativity at its height. She is sitting in front of the seas of Binah, in front of water that is formless potential life. We offer this. The Empress tells us we embody her, We offer it to ourselves first and foremost, and then we can offer it. In an osmotic way, it pours out to others. This is self-nurturing. This is part, there's all this thunder going on. It's thunder and lightning. It's part of the process of healing as we see it here. This is what's happening. And the process of overcoming challenges. And then, download time. We retreat with the Four of Swords into our monastic chamber, where we can actually offer ourselves a level of nurturing. I'm not talking about going and getting your nails done or anything. This is like, though, you know, it can be fun. Not putting a bummer on that one. I'm not talking about that kind of self-care. I'm talking about this coming right back into center. As I said, downloads come here, come through. We get offered insights. We are open to guidance in the Four of Swords. And we are also resting. And that's very important for self-care. Gemini. Where's my deck gone? Here it is. So let's look at the star. It's all pretty amazing. Potential. Let's look at the healing card, the star. There's a lot about this that relates to your connection with other people that possibly, I'm going to pull a couple more cards here. We've got the Three of Discs, a beautiful card when I'm speaking about self-nurture, the Empress, formless sea. We utilize, we give it form. Everything is potentially fertilized from that. It doesn't make sense, does it? From that Empress's sea, you know. We create form from that. And in the Three of Discs, it's works in motion. We've actually harnessed it into a triangular three, meaning it's collaborative. It's drawing others in. It's seeing collaboration as a really, really strong foundation in creation of anything. So we're looking at people here as resources. This is part of our process of healing, of a kind of level of stripping ourselves back, you know, nothing to hide here. We're drawing others in to create. We're not taking credit where it's not due, or taking credit for someone else's efforts and work. We're not going round the back door. Five of Swords is a harsh card. No two ways about it. But it is a sort of archetype of behaviours that maybe we're in the habit of, or maybe we have been on the other end of it from others, I would say, because we all have. And it's not to be predicting, you know, just because you're drawing others in terms of collaboration, that you're going to get ripped off again. And whatever scenario it's been, any individual watching this right now would have many experiences of that. And this is just telling you, this reading, Gemini, don't be afraid of that. Don't be, you know, you've experienced it before. This is not the way it's going to be happening in this, because there is collaboration here, but there's also much hard work on your part in terms of getting that work out there, is what I see. Can we get one more card for that? Because this is part of all that healing, is not to be halted by experiences from the past. And sometimes they can linger, and we can kind of sit with them for way too long, you know. Need to let it go. Within this, there is some information There may well be a mentor. We've got the Hierophant coming out now. There may be a mentor, someone that you look up to, that you seek guidance from. What's happening here is that we've been given a key to actually venture into a new zone. And when I talk about a new zone, I mean this is a way of doing, whether it's collaboration, whatever it is, but this is a way of doing your work a new way, like a really new way. I see, unlocking this door that you've always had access to and being in there and working in a new way, if that makes sense. The Hierophant, as one would see it in the old ways, as the Pope, as the giver of spiritual insight and knowledge. We're getting this through and within a process of healing that involves overcoming a level of habitual self-limitation, Gemini. And this comes up a lot, I think, for Geminis. But anyway, so we're in a great position here. This is a great thing. And we haven't seen it all yet. If that makes sense. We haven't seen the outcome, certainly. How can we? But we haven't seen the full opening of it. That makes sense. But that will happen soon. We've got Iris of the Rainbows, handmaiden to the gods, moving just as the magician sort of does, moving between worlds, has access to different worlds because she is a handmaiden. She is a messenger. This is messages coming through. It's clearing of that cloud zone between the water and the sky. And so we see clearly. We also get information very quickly here. It's appropriate that we do because this here comes as well as the singer of initiation. We are being initiated into a new period of life, into a new zone, into a new part, into a new way of doing what we do, of a new way of shining our light. So it's a wonderful thing. Gemini, now I'll just get a little rock mineral crystal card for you. Oh, we had that, I think, for Virgo. Ametrine. We have spiritual guidance, angelic realms, clear stress, and truths revealed. Ametrine. Beautiful card. Carry this in your mind's eye for the rest of the week as we move through, or as it moves through us, this new moon in beautiful Leo. So on that note, I hope you got something from this, Gemini. And again, if I'm repeating myself, thanks so much. I was joking. Thanks so much for your likes and views, comments, all of that. It really helps me to keep this going. And on that note, take good care, Gemini, over this next week. Ka kite, bye.